What's going on, people? What's
Hey,
going on, y'all? It is Wind Down
Wednesday.
Wednesday. We
Yes.
about to get over the hump. We about to make this thing happen. But y'all know how we do it. We like to keep it 110,000%. We are not experts at this, but we just like bringing you some news, some information, some education, just something good for you. Y'all know what we do. Y'all know who I am. I'm Sandy. I'm sitting here with my girl.
Hey, it's your girl Chanice. Thanks for tuning in. We got a special guest today we are excited about.
Overly excited about because I really don't think the people really know what to do and how to go about doing it if it's something that they want to do. And the thing about it is we know somebody that's doing it, or we know
Have done it.
somebody that have done it, or we know somebody that's doing it and we didn't have a clue they were doing it.
There you go.
So when we say we doing it and doing this and doing that, welcome to our show, Miss Ashley.
Yes. Introduce yourself, please.
Please introduce yourself to
Hello,
the people.
my
Uh-oh.
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 Going in and out, Satan is a liar.
Uh-oh. Yes, Satan
Ashley,
is,
and I am
the devil
super.
is a liar. Because
Am I back?
you going in and out. See, the devil don't want you to try to tell
It's
people what's
fading in
going
and
on.
out.
Yeah, it was fading in and out. Girl, you was sounding, I thought I was getting ready to dance a little bit on, hey, I was getting ready to dance just the way it was going. You sounded like
Okay,
a
am
record
I
right
am I
there.
in now?
We can hear you now.
Yes.
Okay. I am the recruiter for Beach Acres Parenting Center. Super excited to be here. And as you know, I'm a Tuck Radio fan.
Hey, that's right. One of our
Hey,
number one
thank
fans. That's
you.
right. That's right. Thank you for joining us today, Miss Ashley.
Yes.
No problem.
So, Miss Ashley, are you from Cincinnati?
I am a Cincinnatian all day through and through. I once drink
So,
Skyline chili just like everybody else.
I know that
okay.
exactly. Are you a Cincinnati Public School product?
Of course, graduate of Hughes. Before
Hey,
it was Hughes STEM.
that's my alma mater. That's what's
See,
up.
Destiny brought us here.
Alma, yes, right.
So what year did you graduate?
Mm,
Mm.
that could put an age on something.
We got to we just letting the people know that you're not old. You know what I'm saying? That you came out of a great year. You went to Cincinnati Public Schools because we promote Cincinnati Public Schools. We
Heavily,
promote public education, period.
very heavily, yes.
We tried to make sure that we allow people to know that it doesn't matter what school you went to, where you came from. Public schools still produce some of the best people in the world. And that's what we like to have.
Absolutely. I graduated in 2011.
Okay.
And I will forever be 21.
I know that's right. I heard that.
Me too. I'm forever 20. So y'all older than I am. So you graduated from Cincinnati Public School, Hughes High School, Big Red.
Hey,
Big Red.
Hey, Red.
Did you go to college anywhere?
I did. I originally said, I'm going to go to like Florida or something. Went right up the road to a HBCU, Central State University.
Okay.
And,
all right.
Majored in criminal justice and a minor in Spanish.
Well, look at you now. All of that.
A product of CPS.
There it is. And you out here helping the babies, trying to make sure that they get in a safe place, a safe environment, which we can appreciate, because I think it's a lot of times that, people look at foster care as, put your child in a foster care system because it's bad. They'll be not treated right and treated fairly. So what made you get into foster care, and are you a foster parent too?
I am not a foster parent. I have an 8-month-old, so My hands full.
Aw.
God bless your
Oh.
heart.
Yes, Lord. Boy or
And a
girl?
3-year-old.
You got an 8-month and a 3-month-old.
An 8-month-old and a 3-year-old.
Or 3-year-old. God still bless your heart, honey. God still bless your heart. That's
All
too-
under 5.
all
I'm
under
gonna take
5.
a sip. I'm gonna take a sip for you, okay?
Wait a minute. Let me take a sip too. I'm gonna take a 2 or 3, 5 sips for you. But God bless your heart, to have babies under 5, but still got that need in your heart to help somebody else's children to be put in a safe environment, in a safe place. I love you for that, because you're looking at 2 people right here that love kids. We love kids ourselves. We always trying to help somebody else's kids on top of helping ours. So
Yeah.
what does it take? I mean, what does it take? I know it's a process. Is the process long? I mean, what is it that if I wanted to be a foster parent, what is it that I need to do? What's the first thing I need to do? And how can I do it?
Contact me, right? So a lot of times people think it's this long, drawn out process, and it's not, right? The only thing that we ask that you do is have an open heart.
Okay.
That's it. So you call us, we take you through some trainings, you do the application, the paperwork, we do a home study, we do the licensing process, and then we place the kid in your home.
Okay, so can you, I know it's still early in the show, and we'll ask you to do this periodically throughout the show. If you can leave your contact information on how, people can get in contact with you to do that process.
Absolutely. You can call me. I actually have a challenge and a charge for African Americans to contact me during Black History Month. You can always contact me whenever, but I challenge you, if you have questions, to contact me, especially during Black History Month. My number is 513-233-4865. Again, that's 513-233-4865. And then my email address is agray@beachacres.org.
Good.
And is that, I'm sorry, is that Gray, Gray, or Grey?
GRAY.
Okay.
At Beach Acres.
At beachacres.org.
She's putting it in. She's putting it in so that
I'm trying to,
they can scroll back, they can scroll back through.
I be multitasking over here, to make sure that we get the information put in properly. So how long have you been doing this? What made you want to do this? I mean, really, you went to school for criminal justice. That's a day and night.
That's a switch. It is.
Because by the time they've got in that field, it's too late. I'm trying to get them before people in the criminal justice field see them.
Right.
I'm trying to, something has to give. Our babies are just, I don't know. And it's like, how can we help before it's you now your name is in the system?
Right.
So that's, it's a need, and it's a high need. So I've been with Beach Acres, and so it was kind of like a build up. The more I saw, the more I was just like, gotta do more.
Right.
Yeah. So I was a therapeutic service provider, still with Beach Acres, a therapeutic service provider. And so working with kids who had the like ADHD, ADD, defiance disorder. And then I became a team lead. So it's just like, okay, getting these kids what they need? How can we be all inclusive for the services that we provide? And then,
so you went to school with Brianne at Central State.
She can see your comment, Tanya.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in, Tanya. She says hello.
Hello. And then just seeing the need. And so like seeing what could happen if a kid had just needed mental help and they didn't get it, what happened? Like where they funneled off to. And so I'm like, I have to be able to do something for the babies who feel like they don't have a voice or maybe in another home or something like that. Like I just had to do more.
So I know you work with kids and you try to put them in decent homes and places. What's the percentage of I don't know if you know this, off the top of your head, if you wrote it down or booked it, Googled it, or whatever. What's the percentage of Blacks being in foster care?
So I don't have the percentage for Blacks being in foster care, and I definitely can get that to you. But I know that the percentage of Black foster parents are only 6.5%.
What? That's a low number.
It is. It is. It's
why people don't want to
low.
be? Why is it people that don't want to be foster parents? I mean, Jabron, hush up.
I apologize. He said folks don't want to take care of their own kids. So trying to take care of somebody else is a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah. They're gonna thanks for tuning in. So why are the numbers so low when it comes to African Americans not wanting to, other than the fact that they don't want to take care of their own kids? Because now, do you get paid to be a foster parent?
You do. That's one of the big things, and that's part of the reason why I was just like, I have to get in this game. I have to be a part of the solution here, because what's going on is people are just like, I can't take care of my own kids, or I'm just making it with taking care of my kids. Like, what does that look like if I come in and you're talking about like, let's foster? So I have to get this kid new clothes, new shoes. Like, I have to have all of these things going on, and we make sure at least at Beach Acres that we supply you with some of that, right? So if it's hair care because you're Caucasian and you have a Black child, we help with that. If it's a matter of, you need to be paid, that's fine. That's not a problem, because this is not easy work. I don't want to ever give the illusion that the work is easy, and it takes money. So you get a per diem. You do get a per diem. And depending on the type of child that you have, and that means that you get a little bit more money for that cushion. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so like the kids with their own insurance and stuff like that, that's not something that you have to pay for.
And see, that was another question. That was what I was just about to ask. So when you're a foster care parent, they cover the insurance for the child. You don't have to worry about covering that child under your insurance.
No, ma'am.
What about so how does the foster, like, have you had any parents that I'm sorry, have you had any parents that has started or has done foster care for a long period of time and it has segued into the adoption process? How does that look?
Absolutely. So, naturally, we want to make sure that parents are reunited with their family, because we know the importance of a child being with their biological family. That's important. And if that can't happen because it's not what's best for the child, then so be it. There is opportunity to foster to adopt, and you can still do that through Beach Acres. So you're able to foster. Let's say the court says this kid can't return home. It just is not safe. The mother and the father, they're not doing what they need to. And you can say, hey, that's fine. I want it.
Right. So Ify has a question. She says, what about trauma and mental health support? Now, if I had a foster kid and I know that baby or whatever, whatever age they are, was dealing with trauma and they needed help, does Beach Acres provide that? Or is it a way, if I didn't have to go through Beach Acres, can I get my own specialist, and will they still pay for it?
And a lot of that is covered under the medical coverage, correct?
Boom. Absolutely. So the beautiful thing about Beach Acres is we are here to support always. So even when you're going through your process of the paperwork and the training, the pre-service training, which is something that every foster parent has to do, you have to make sure that you have certain guidelines and certain knowledge. And so we train you for the trauma that will come, right? And you also have a support system of parents who are also going through the same thing as you. And so you'll have a system that you can lean on. As far as the mental health piece with Beach Acres, absolutely. We have our own therapists. We have our own therapeutic service providers. We have our own, like if the child needs medication because their diagnosis calls for that, We have that. And if you choose not to go to Beach Acres, me personally, I don't care where you go to get the child the help. Get the child
Right.
the help. They got
Right.
enough
Meet the
trauma.
need. We're big on that
Exactly.
here at Talk Radio. Meet the need. If you can meet
the
the need, that's what matters.
Now,
Meet the need.
is it easy to give a kid back? Like if I'm fed up, I mean, you know, I know y'all want the kid to stay in that environment. You want, you know, I mean, y'all want them to stay there as long as they can because you know the atmosphere and where they are, the location is the better fit for them than to put back in the system. If I say come and get this child at 3:00 in the morning, how does all of that work? What is it that? What's the process? And can that even happen? I know it can, but what's the process?
So let me say, I can't speak for other companies and other agencies. I won't badmouth any of them that are in the Cincinnati area. I will never badmouth another company, especially in public on Talk Radio.
Yep.
However, Beach Acres has the lowest in the nation, the lowest disruption rate.
Wow.
In the nation, because
Whoa.
we see like and that was my question. So, I got the receipts. I have those receipts. I will definitely drop them. So if you, and that was my question when I first joined, I was like, you know, I know sometimes me and my mother didn't get along.
Listen.
And she wanted to give me back to the maker.
Girl, look,
Okay.
right on back.
All right.
Send you back. I brought you in the world. I will take you back.
Return to sender, please. Yes.
Absolutely.
A point of no return, and you ain't coming back. If your mama gonna send you, you ain't coming back.
Yes, so.
Don't let the door hit you with a good Lord split you.
Hey.
Take that elsewhere. Go to your grandmama's house.
Yep.
But you can, like, so it's not as easy as come get this child at 3:00 in the morning. But definitely, if it's not working out and you and the child can't get along and you've gone to talk to your caseworker, you've talked to the therapist, you've talked to the support system, like, we will definitely, like, we won't just leave you hanging. If you and this kid, like, y'all just keep butting heads, like, it's not working.
Right.
We're not just going to leave because that's access trauma for the child.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're not going to do that to you. We won't.
Oh, I wish I was the program that I was in because just it's coming up on a year. It's not a year quite yet. I had custody of my sister's 6 children plus my own kids. So it was a madhouse from a newborn baby all the way up to like 12 years old. And so it was definitely a time. But they've been reunified with mom, and so they, of course, we still keep in contact. So they've been doing very well. But I wish I would have known that they were one of the resources. I mean, I have behavioral support background as well. And then dealing with children with trauma, whether it was emotional, physical, or either one, really. And that trauma piece is very important. To have them in a home that's not going to build onto the trauma that they've already experienced. So that's a big piece.
Huge.
It is.
My thought is tell me the connection that you all have with Hamilton County Children's Services.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Job and Family Services. Are you all connected by any means, or are you all intertwined with each other? Is it all under the same thing? Are you working for JFS? Are you working for JFS/Beach Acres?
Beach Acres signs my checks.
Okay.
All right now. Okay, then.
And the reason why I say this is because there was an incident that took place, like Shanice said, my thing is I get it when you're trying to put the children back in the home with the original parents. I get that. But let's just be real. Sometimes it's not good to put them back into that same environment that you took them out of. Mm-hmm. Why is it that the system does that? Because if they were taking care of those babies. I can tell you that now. I know for a fact they were taking care of all 5 of those babies. Not
See.
saying that they shouldn't go back. Okay, see. Not saying that they should not go back, but if they're doing well and if the environment that they came from isn't so good yet, why yet? I'm not saying they're not gonna get there. What's the rush in putting them back into that environment only to turn around and take them back out?
That's an awesome question.
Ultimately, we look at it's the judge's decision. It's the judge's decision. So what happens is we come in and we get the child, and the child has a GAL or an advocate for the child, and so they speak and they try to advocate for the child as best as they can. And unfortunately, sometimes the system it's not without flaw.
I agree. The ball has been dropped several.
Okay, what's up, Robert? What's going on?
Hey, Robert, thanks for tuning in.
One of our favorite fans on here too. So I get that and I understand that, but at the recommendation of Beach Acres and JFS, Job and Family Services, at the recommendation of them, why would the judge go against the recommendation of the people that supposedly know what's best for the family? And that would be you all or JFS. Why would the judge go against your recommendation and keep them in the environment that right now it seemed to be working instead of putting them back? So why would the judge go against that?
Because, and this is, I listen, at that, now I'm speaking for a judge and I know I don't have the right. So I'm going to be very.
Let's just hypothetically, we could just be very. We don't have to contain it to one. We just speak. You know what I mean? Like in general.
Let me say this: your experience and what you have seen in the past. Now we got 2 questions on the floor. What about daycare? We're gonna answer those questions about the daycare program, the after-school program, the cost. Who covers that? And number 2, Ify says. We're going to get to these 2 questions. Ify says, what happens if, like, Shanice still wanted to be a part of the family's life, or you still wanted to be a part of those children that you had, you still wanted to be a part of their life. But we're going to answer those 2. But going back to your experience in the courtroom, you recommended that child stay with, this is your experience. What did the judge say? Maybe, I don't know if you ever experienced this anyway or not, but what did he say the reason why he was putting them back in the homes with their parents?
So the judge could put forth a recommendation that they complete like parenting classes. And if they complete those parenting classes, and let's be honest, I'm gonna always put my best foot forward when I'm going into a courtroom.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, they may not know the reality. They may not know the real because you put on such a good front.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
You put on a good front.
As a parent, right? Like just like you saying, as a parent that wants their kid back, for the most part, on surface, they're gonna do everything that looks good so that they can get the kid back into this dysfunctional, home. Train wreck of a home that, and at the end of the day, I always say it doesn't matter how bad the parents are. A child wants to be with their parent. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, they could be a dope head. It does not matter. Like that child has a desire to be back in something that they know as functional, even though it's dysfunctional.
And Carolyn said it. Your job and Job and Family Services job is to try to do your very best to put that child back in the home where they came from. There's no place like home, as Dorothy said on The Wizard of Oz. But then again, sometimes it ain't in the best interest for that child to go back. But at the end of the day, it's not your call. You did your job. You did it to the best of your ability. So, I don't like it. And we've all seen it before where kids have been placed back into the homes and then something drastic has happened.
Yeah.
And then here we are, people like me, Monday morning quarterback and talking about shouldn't have put them back anyway. Should have kept them where they were, So I get it. We all have a job to do when it comes to trying to help and assist children.
You know what, Ify? Knock it off.
I can't take Ify today.
But but the question is the EFX when the kid goes to after school program, who covers that cost?
In sports.
Well,
So-
after school daycare, who covers that cost?
So the parent covers that, and then it can come out of a part of that per diem that the parent receives. But as far as, and I don't know about other companies or other agencies, I know that Beach Acres also, like if your kid wants to play a sport, we offer additional funds for that.
So let
we
me
do
ask you
have
this.
funds that cover some of that.
Okay.
Do you guys do you guys do the stipend?
Yep, and
Okay.
it depends on the level of the type of child, like the need that the child has.
Okay.
It just depends. It's a wide range. It just depends, and it depends on the county too.
All right.
It depends on the county that the kid is coming from.
Because
Oh.
the counties can dictate how much you get paid and how much you don't, and then does the child need like nurses care? You know, that's why there's a need for
No, we don't want you to, bruh. Don't worry about it. We got this.
no, Ify, the per diem is not for you.
So the per diem is for. So it's based on the number of kids that you have. So you get a per diem per kid, or
Per kid.
oh, okay,
Per
okay.
kid.
Is there an amount? Is there a certain amount of kids a person can have in one home if they're doing foster care?
So you just want to make sure that you have the space. So in the
Yeah.
home study, we'll see how much space do you even have? Because you could say, yeah, I was just looking at a YouTube video and the lady had 38 kids. I'm like, more power to you. I'm not doing that.
Oh my
38.
gosh.
38.
Wow. That's excessive.
So that's not over. Is there a limit here in Hamilton County?
She had the space.
She was from Hamilton County.
That was
No, she wasn't from here. She wasn't here. But they would expand their home. So they would have add-ons put onto their home to keep
Wow.
going.
That's a lot.
And so if you have a room, if you have a mansion, go for it.
Yeah, babe.
You got the bed.
They was
you got
cashing
the
out.
heart. Mhm.
So what's the minimum amount of per diem per child?
Depending on the case. Depending on the case.
That's a good question.
It's depending on the case.
It does. It depends on the kid. It depends on the kid. It depends on the county. Like, what are their needs? Like, if I don't want to say a kid that's, ready to go to school, then
Yep, if it
that's
is.
going to be a different amount. And then if you're in Hamilton County versus up in Greene County, that's a different amount.
So it's no base. There's no base amount of per diem. There's no base per diem cost for one
No.
child.
And it depends on the agency that you're with, because
Mhm.
I mean, it's a lot of factors that go
That's
into
true. That is true.
So Ify also wanted to know, say, if I had a kid and I kept that kid for a year or so, and you guys came back and the mom and the parent, dad, whatever, is ready for them to return back home. After they go back, whose decision is it if I still wanted to be a part of that child's life? Is it Beach Acres? Is it the parent where the children from? Mom and dad or whomever, or how does that work?
You know what? That is a very good question that I will have to get back to you on. My question was for people, what if I have this kid and then I run into their mama?
Right.
What am I supposed to do? I was like, because I'm not trying to have a kid. Obviously, they were removed from the home for something.
For a reason.
But what if I run into their mama? What am I supposed to do with that?
Well, the thing is, I'm sure you wouldn't. We wouldn't.
You handle it. You
Yeah.
handle it.
I think we would allow them
gracefully,
to say hi or whatever, but
and as gracefully as you can, because
if there is a restraining order, now that's different.
that's
Now
totally
that, that's different. But if you walking down Winton Woods and they walk past, you say hi. As long as they ain't getting belligerent and you got to call the police.
That's it.
Ify talking about she gonna fight him, you know. But then once
You
you
know what?
fight,
Enough if you buck, if Evie,
once you fight,
they gonna rip that child up out of there.
exactly. And then they gonna take the kid away from you. Then you ain't
Hey,
gonna
bro,
have
your home ain't no safer than where they came from.
Exactly.
You see the trauma?
You riff raff.
you know you doing this, that, and the other. You're supposed to be an example. That's why you have the foster child.
Exactly, but I know from my experience, it is up to the parents because they return back to the parents. So the parent, they for my situation, they were still under the custody of JFS, and so therefore there were still boundaries and things that the parents had to do, even though the kids returned to them in small steps that they had to do, or they were going to be returned back to us. And so a lot of that call on the visiting and things of that stuff was solely on the parents, whether they agreed to it or they did not.
Wow. So my thing too is if a mother is doing some things and she's pregnant and she has the baby, do you guys take babies like freshly born babies and take them immediately and place them in foster care?
Absolutely. So we receive the kid and we connect the child to the parent.
To the foster parent?
Yeah, we hold all of the parents and we get the kids from JFS. But we have seen, I mean, fresh, and we've even seen like teenage girls who are pregnant and need a foster home. It's real. It's a reality.
Yeah, it is. I mean, because
Yeah.
and it happened because my sister had a newborn, like I said, and as soon as she pushed that baby out, they were on it. I mean, she was right in my doorstep, and it wasn't even 24 hours.
Yeah. And I mean,
and that's just, it amazes me how that all happens, and you know the reasons why it happened, which is why I guess I have an issue when you take a baby that's newly born straight from the mama, and then 6 months down the road you're placing her back in the home with them. To me, that doesn't make sense, because who's to say in 6 months that she did and is doing is going, because the key is going to continue to do what she needs to do to keep the baby. So how, once all that happens, they go back, do you all still be a part of that person's business pretty much? Are you still in their business, making sure that they're doing what they need to do because they got the child back? And if so, how long do you do it? You know, how long will you be in there? A year, 6 months, or till y'all think that they got it back together, and then the next thing you know, she got another case on her a year down the road? So how long does it take? How long do you all give them to get the children back before you just say, okay, everything is going good, you know, they're gonna keep them, they come off our books? What's that like?
honestly, that's for the JFS worker. You know, like we don't, I have no interaction with that child's parent. None. I'm trying to get the homes for the babies. But the kids, and I've seen it, right? I worked in a school, so I've seen it. I've seen the system fail. I have called 241 kids on parents before because I had to.
Right.
And so I've seen those situations where you just got to sit back like
and watch it play out, and it's ugly. It's very ugly because, like you were saying, Sandy, that baby was me. Like, that was my baby. You know what I mean? Like, she knew me as her auntie mom, and you know, my husband as Uncle Dad, and so that's what she knew. You know, she would get visits the parents would get visits, but it wasn't an hour, 2 hours. She's always with us, and so it was a challenging time when it came to them returning, because I feel like they need to implement a step process back instead of just, and they say that they do, they try to, But it seems like the desire of the parent wanting the child back, depending on who the worker is what they go with.
So you find placement. You find families to place the kids in.
Exactly. I find the parents, the parents that are wanting children to come into their home and just open their heart and open their home to the children coming in. But I do agree. There is an issue with the process.
Mm-hmm.
There's an issue with the process. And I wouldn't be, I'm human first. Like I wear this logo, but I'm human first.
Right.
There is a flaw.
Yeah.
We all have them.
We all have them. We all have them. But and I say this all the time, when adults don't get it right, children suffer.
Yes.
Man.
All the time.
Sure.
So since you put them in now, do you remove them too? Or that's JFS?
JFS.
Man, I tell you what, I know that Ify had a question. She also said, what's the difference? What's better? Is a group home better for foster?
No.
Might a group home be better for foster kids?
No.
What
right.
Let me cover my logo. No, thank you.
Being at home would be better, but the second option would definitely be foster, because you're gonna get more, where you're supposed to get more personable care than a group home. Is just a home with a bunch of other kids with different issues, and it's easy to be looked over.
So, with all of that, if you couldn't find a kid, and that right now that kid needs to be placed somewhere, would you place them in a foster home? I mean, in a group home. Have you placed children in group homes?
So I don't place them. I just, if you have a child that is ready to go into a home, I got the people. And if we don't have the people, then they go back, they don't toggle back and forth, but we say, unfortunately, we don't have a home right now. That is why we need more foster parents. We need more foster parents. We need more foster parents that are Black. We need more foster parents that are first responders, in the medical field, because let's be real, I've seen kids where they're just like, okay, this child has, let's say the child needs a feeding tube. I can't take that on.
Right.
So we need special, we need those first responders. We need the nurses. We need the people in the medical field. And I think, sometimes even with specifically, and I can only speak for, being Black. Sometimes I've been to college. What if I got caught using a fake ID and I got a ticket for it? Right. You can still be a foster parent. Like, we understand that stuff happens, right? So if we're just gonna be honest, like, people have marijuana tickets. That doesn't mean that you can't be a foster parent.
But it's intimidating. And it's understandable how it could be intimidating. Like, oh, I'm a bad person, so I can't look after, these kids. But that's not necessarily the case.
Right.
Exactly. And I just want to try to break that barrier, that because I have a DUI, I can't be a foster parent. And that's not true. If you got a DUI 10 years ago, that's not the person that you are today.
No, it's not.
It could be.
Well, we hope it ain't. We pray it ain't.
Right.
We speaking to those who is not. What she's saying is that don't let anything get in your way. If this is something that God put on your heart that you desire to do, He will make a way for it to happen. It doesn't matter about your past, because we all have one.
And Carolyn says that group homes are not a true loving environment for kids that need to be that's been traumatized or came from a home where they lacked a whole lot of stuff. And I totally agree. I don't think group homes are. I don't feel group home. There are some, the individual person at the group home maybe, but I think the group home itself is a loving environment for our children. She said not our group home, but some of them just want the money. I agree with that too.
True. That is true. That is so true, Carolyn. My husband has background of over 20 years in group home experience. So yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's a fact.
That is a fact. And the unfortunate piece is and I ain't even in the business, but Black owned group homes are
Or
probably
terrible. It's terrible.
some of the worst
I'm just gonna put it
for
out
our
there. It's
children
horrible.
to be in.
It really is.
Because I don't think they have the best interest. Those are the group homes that's out for the money. Now, let me ask you this question, if you know this question. If a child is in a group home, do the group get a per diem for the child?
That's a good question. I would assume so.
They do, and if they're on medication, they do. Yes, ma'am.
Because that child still costs, or they're getting grant money or something. Because we got too many group homes for it to not be.
Oh, they get trust me, they get into the money.
We got a lot of group homes, and that's what I'm saying. You got a lot of group homes that's just in it for the money. So how many, have you ever taken a kid from a group home and placed them in found a family for a kid?
Absolutely. Because say for instance, it's 2:00 in the morning and that child has to go to a group home for just a temporary purpose. In the morning, we have found a family. Let's go. Pack your stuff. We out of here. Let's go to a home. And that's the hope, that we have enough where children are able to go straight to, like, there's a stream. Okay, there's a new kid. Let's put them in this home.
Right.
Carolyn, and then Ify said where the money resides. That's, I guess, money pays for everything. Money.
Oh, yeah.
We know if money is there, that's more than likely where the kid is gonna go, or gonna place them or whatever. Everything is about money. Unfortunately, these days, everything is about money. I don't think your answer to the question, Carolyn, I ain't no expert at this, but I don't think JFS feels the same way. Period. I have seen things with JFS that's just
they operate totally. It's just a totally different system, unfortunately. But yeah, it's totally different.
Because there was an incident that happened not too long ago with a coworker. He gets a phone call at 3:00 in the morning from a JFS person. Baby mama over at the house clowning. She just going off. They are already at the house with their grandmother. They've been staying with the grandmother. Baby mama comes over causing problems. But JFS would not allow the babies to stay there. They already been staying there. Mama done came over causing problems. JFS called the uncle, made him get up out of bed 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, come get the kids. They followed him to his house so they could look at the house to make sure it was a good environment. But they already staying with grandma. They already in a good place. They already, you had to take them out of an environment where they were. Drama came to them. So why not leave them where they are and
get rid of mom?
And get rid of mama.
My only question, and I don't know the whole situation, but that's why we have to be licensed. Because if she was licensed, Mom, you have to go. I don't know why that wasn't the case anyway, because this is my house and you got to leave. But right. Yeah, you just gotta go. I don't know what to tell you. But and I don't know the totality of the situation. But if grandma was licensed, I bet 9 times out of 10 she would have had more support and more. They would have gone more. It would have gone more in her favor.
I just it's crazy to me. Drama came to them, and I don't, but Uncle ain't licensed.
I can say this
Uncle
from
wasn't
experience.
licensed. The uncle was not licensed.
Well, I can say this from experience. They have been keen on making sure that if that's the place where they're placing the kids, that the kids are going to be safe, so that conflicts like that, even though she was on the outside, aren't going to arise, because that's adding more trauma that these kids are seeing, even though they have to open the door, you know what I mean? But the kids are still hearing that, you know what I mean? And so they are very big on like I said, from experience, making sure that you're gonna be disassociated from the problem that brought them here to begin with, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Removing them from the trauma.
Yep. I mean, but trauma comes to you. You ain't got no control over that.
Now, then that's
I'm calling
true.
the police because you bringing some trauma to my house. You got to go.
Exactly.
I don't know
Exactly.
what you got
Exactly. Exactly. And so if it would have been the same case with me having the kids, and then, you know, I'm agreeing that I'm gonna do it this way, you know what I mean, on JFS watch, but on the backside, I'm be like, hey, you know, come on over, you can get them, you can come get one, don't tell nobody. Like those
that
type of
happens.
things. Yeah, those type of things. It's just like, and if they find out about it, it's like we're taking them, because it's an added problem.
Right. And the police was there. The police came. The police came. So, you know,
Somebody
however,
called them. It might not have been the person that was in the house with the kids. That would have been the best bet for the person who was in the house with the kids to call, because then it didn't look like they was associated with what was happening. And so that's the problem.
And what I don't like, and I know you work for Beach Acres, you find like care. Is there a pre-qualification to be a foster care parent? Now, what is it if I cannot? What reason that I can absolutely positively not be a foster care parent other than the norm, like being a sexual molester, being an abuser, domestic violence? I mean, what would be the reason that I wouldn't qualify to be a foster parent?
You know what catches people up, honestly, is lying on that application. So, like I said, that's why I wanted to put that out there. You can have a DUI, you can have a marijuana ticket, you can have this stuff in your past. But where you go wrong is when you don't think that that's gonna come back on that background check. And now,
because it
you raise red flags.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have an issue because we find it, and you knew you had a DUI 2 years ago.
Well, yeah. If it was 10 or 12 years ago, I might have forgot about it.
Lie.
You know about that DUI, or you know what I mean?
Well, something like that is always in the back of your mind. That's how it's always like, dang, am I gonna get this job? Because I know I had to, you know what I'm saying? If you think about a job, so foster care is like, this is somebody's life you're talking about. It's not a job where people freak out about a job having a DUI. Like, this somebody, you putting people in somebody's care. Like, you won't forget about if you got a DUI.
But you could have got an underage. You could have got an underage ticket for drinking underage. And I forgot because it was back in when I was 17, 16. I forgot. Now I'm 50, 67 years old. You know, I can't remember it all. Would you still hold that against me?
I hope it's enough time that's been gone past. You can't pull that if you did that and you 17 and you 21 now. But I could see where, you know, I did that when I was 17 years old and now I'm 60. You know, I might have forgot, you know, and I think it's saying that. Just be honest. Because we're gonna bring it back to you.
I'm saying.
Yeah, we're gonna bring it up. We're gonna talk about this.
They gets all in your business. I'm here to let you know they gets all in your business.
So if I'm convicted of domestic violence, or if I'm not convicted of domestic violence, can I be a foster parent?
So all of that goes to a review board, right? Like, what did that look like? What happened? What are the details? You know, let's kind of understand that this thing. Is this a history that you have? Like, do you just have an issue with hitting people? Because then that's not going to work. Like, because, you know, I always say, don't trust what somebody say, trust their patterns. So if they constantly have this issue, then we might have an issue here, and that might not be the right thing for this. This may not be the right place for you. You might want to go like adopt something else, like a hamster or a dog or something. Or I don't know, like get your life together first before you go to try to adopt something. I don't want the animal people on me.
So who's on the panel? Who's on the panel to make the decisions whether or not, you know, I'm accepted or not accepted?
So you have a number of people, right? I'm not on that panel, but you have like the licensing specialist, you have the director of foster care, like you have a number of people who luckily bring their own life experiences to the table, right? So you might look up and somebody had a marijuana ticket and they sympathize with you. I don't I don't know, but it's a part of the conversation. Like, let's just have that open conversation. Let's talk about it. Let's have a dialogue about it, because we aren't perfect. And just like the JFS system has flaws, court systems have flaws. We're human and we have flaws.
All day. Ify asked a question. She said, what's the age? Is there a certain age so they can stay with you up until 18 then?
They can, and there's actually a bridge program that supports them until they're 21.
And
so
they can stay with you till 21.
If you can sign up for that bridge program, and they can support you. You can still have support. And if you say, for instance, I've seen it where kids go to college and the kid comes home, just because they age out of foster care does not mean that they age out of your heart.
That is
and
correct.
You can keep it. If y'all are on the same page and y'all have an understanding,
So 18 to 21. If they're 21, still get per diem for them. Does it stop or does it keep going? What age does the per diem cut off?
Ify, you better have. I'm coming to your house and I'm going to sign you up for a pre-service training, and we gonna get you because I'm a little bit worried because you talk about where the money resides.
She might need to be on the board because she
might need to be on the board.
Yeah, she get to the tough questions, boy. She go take care of it.
That's
we
okay.
might need to put her on board. And
she needs a kid. You feeling like you need a kid? Scarlett is on her way.
Come get her right now.
Come get her right now. She will have bags and treats. Like, she will have all of her stuff. You ain't even got to buy her nothing. She's gonna come ready.
Yeah, because she gonna have per diem with her. You sending the per diem when you send her.
Yeah. You can have $5 to go to McDonald's. Scarlett likes chicken nuggets. You get her a Happy Meal. She'll be good.
Everything she needs. Get her everything she needs. The per diem cuts off at 18. Well then they can go somewhere else then after 18. If I ain't gonna get no more money for them, I'm with Eve.
You know what?
If I'm not gonna get no money for them, then it's time for them to go. Cause I'm sorry, I can't be. That's extra mile for my house.
You in the game. You in the game for the wrong reason.
You in it for the wrong reason.
After 18, after 18, I have nourished you, helped you get to a point where now you can go on your own.
You say that now. You say that now.
I have given them Ashley Gray's information so they can contact her for a follow-up need for whatever.
You say that now. That's just what you think.
Just saying.
He said contact 513-233.
513. That's right. That's right. Send her email and let her know what date and time that you're going to need to send them back, because that's over. OVA. Time has elapsed at the age of 18.
We do not do it for the money. But you know what? You say that now, and we've had parents, and I've known people, and they're just like, yeah, I stay with my foster parents. After they go into college, because if I'm out of your hair, I'm going to college.
Hey, if that's where you secure at, and and that's where you feel comfortable at, and they don't have a problem with it, what's the problem?
Right. That's their comfort. That's their comfort level.
That's that love.
Mm-hmm.
That's the love. That's right. That was created by a foster parent. I know a friend of mine. They got 3 kids. 2 boys and a girl, and they've been foster parents and they actually adopted them. And I love that. They adopted the kids. So I'm grateful and thankful. And so I guess that's another thing that you all Do you push for adoption when you put kids in foster care?
No, and here's my reason behind that, right? A nice percentage, and I don't have the exact number, so I don't want to say, but a lot of the kids that are pushed into foster care are Black. And so I'm trying to see how can we reunify them back with their parents. Reunification is always what I'm pushing for.
Right.
Yeah.
If it's safe, if it's conducive, and that parent is fit to have it, because sometimes people just mess up, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you mess up.
Yep.
And so,
She got stuck on us.
You done froze, Ashley. Tell Scarlett that she done froze your camera up. The baby done came in and froze up Ashley when she was fixing her hair.
Right.
But I get that. The reunification to try to put kids back in the home with their parents. I get it. I understand that wholeheartedly. But sometimes you can't do that. That's not always the case. You know, then you have to, or maybe you feel obligated to adopt them, because at this point in time, what else is it you can do? I mean, other than adopt them, because if you put them back, you just never know what they're going to happen. You know,
but then again, it has to be, adoption has to be something that you're definitely called to do, because once you adopt them, they become your child. You're no longer getting the assistance.
Correct.
You know, that you would get when they were in foster care. So,
but adoption too can adopt the kid for all the wrong reasons as well. You know?
Oh, definitely.
Just like being in the foster care system, you can adopt them for all the wrong reasons. And, you know, we know that. We've seen it. We've worked with people that have done that. So that's the unfortunate piece. You know, we strive to make sure that children are taken care of the best of their abilities. But a lot of people don't do that. You know, they want to put them, you know, back in. I just don't see why they put them back in harm's way, and then something else happens to them. And then whose fault is it? You know, it's the turnover rate is so big. You know, the rate is so huge when it comes to trying to find good, committed people to help children be placed in foster care or adoption or whatever. The turnover rate with JFS is every time you turn around, it's terrible. But the load of work that they have is a lot. It's
they have caseload, and so they're overworked themselves. Sometimes deprived of sleep, making, so you know, like you said, we human, we're flawed, so we don't make the best decisions when all that happens. So
Carolyn, that's a good question. I don't know if they you would think as much information as they have on the kid, I would think that they would give that to the foster care parent, the foster parent. But how much of the medical record can a foster parent see? You know, I would hope all of it, because I wouldn't want a kid in my house if I didn't know all of the medical and the mental issues and the trauma that they had gone through and the things that they had suffered over a period of time. So I would hope.
You get to find out, you get to learn a lot, because a lot of times with it, like we had to take the kids to counseling so many days of the week. And if they're met with medications, like they had to do med sum, so they had to go and sit down and talk to a person to see what adjustments was needed. So all of those things are included in that.
Yeah. And I agree, Carolyn, you can put the foster parent in a bad position, you know, whatever it is, you can put them in a bad position by doing that and not letting the foster parent know, because we know you can't do kids or treat kids like you would treat your own, because they're not.
Because they're not, and it's hard for them to receive that love, because they want to know why somebody that don't know me want to take care of me. You know what I mean? Like want to be there for me. Like for what? Like all the things that I've done, and this is the mentality that we've experienced. Hey, welcome back, Ash.
It's a struggle. It's a struggle for them to accept that. You know, for the child to accept the fact that, okay, I can't be with my mom or dad, you know, I can't be with grandma, and now I got to go with this stranger. It's a struggle for them to even make that adjustment and make that move and even to do that. So I'm sure by not knowing, I'm hoping the question was posed is that medical information. How much medical information does the foster care parent get?
So you do have a background of the kiddo. So you get like just a brief, what's going on with them. Maybe not necessarily how as in depth as, they had a hernia when they were 3 years old. But you do have like if they have medical needs, right? You get to know that information. We don't I don't want to give you a child and you don't know what's going on because then you want to give it back.
Right.
So I want to be, the job, we want to make sure that we let the parent know up front, this is what comes with this child.
Mm-hmm.
And are you willing to take this kid? Knowing what you know, are you willing to move forward?
So you guys try to give them as much medical information about the child as you possibly can, and the medical information that you know right then and there. Because what if you don't know this kid got some mental issues or some underlying issues? Because you may not know. I mean, y'all don't know everything.
You know what? We may not know, and we may give you a kid, and you may find out like, now you ain't tell me this.
Right.
But that's why it's important for you to have a system, right? Like you have a support system. That's why I try to, before people just adopt kids, I try to say, hey, you might want to foster first. So you get, a chance to know that kid and have some support.
Right.
So if the kid is the kid, and stuff can develop, right? So this kid could just because something triggered him or her.
Yeah. Right. Trauma. Yep.
Trauma. And so how do we support this kid? That's why it's good to have like an agency that has therapists, that we already have all of that stuff.
Good.
And it doesn't hurt to have a support system. I mean, we were surprised at how many people just randomly out of nowhere just rallied around us by just hearing, you know what I mean? Like that some of the part of the story, not the whole thing, but just knowing that,
right,
man, look at this lady and this, and her husband, they got all these kids. Like, I wonder what their story is. And just sitting there having a conversation with people like, oh, are those all those her kids? It starts there. And then you just start getting overwhelmed with things and people wanting to help and be, that support for you. So, yeah.
And that's why I tell people, just get licensed. You don't have to take a kid right then and there. But say, for instance, I was your sister and you had these kids. I remember you saying you had 8 kids in your house at one time. If I become a foster parent and I get licensed, we can tag team together. And so it kind of helps the situation and it takes the burden off. Because even if we have respite care.
Yeah.
And I could be a respite provider that that your kids are safe. I got CPR training. They did a home study and they took a look around my house and they know that it's safe and you can trust me.
Listen, we was grateful for that. You hear what I'm trying to tell you? We was like, wait a minute, we know the system now. We know we supposed to get some additional help. What's up? Y'all ain't verbalizing, but I'm in this field, so I know. You know what I mean? Like, we need to go out of town. We need a little break. So it's time for respite.
Right.
So yeah.
So good. Ashley, your camera went out on you.
I know, Ashley, dang. We was just about to do positive quotes here.
Buttons and stuff over there, but it's okay. We know, the people love.
Maybe she'll pop back in.
So this is where we come to the end of this piece. We thank you for being on here and letting the people know what they can do and how they can go about doing it with becoming a foster care parent. And what it means to be a foster care parent. The importance of it is, first of all, we know you got to love the kids. You got to love what you do. You just can't not love them. You got to be a part of, you want to be a part of the growing community here. It takes a village to raise children, not just ours, but somebody else's too. So we thank you for being here. We thank you for being on.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us and bringing us some information. I hope and pray that somebody reaches out to you with information or wanting to know what they can do, or even becoming a foster care parent,
Absolutely.
and hopefully they heard it right here from us, from you, from me, from Janice, because this is what we do. And we hope to have you back again to
Yes.
talk about, we want you to stay there. We don't want you to leave and go nowhere, because it takes people like you to help our babies,
It does.
to be put in. I wish the number of that 6.2% or 5% or whatever, I hope that number rises at some point. But I don't know if it will, but we're going to pray, keep our hands together, and we're going to pray to see if that number rises with people adopting Black babies, especially Black families, becoming, I think senior citizens that are by themselves, that might be something that they could do or might think about doing it, because, and I'm not saying do it so you can make them clean up and all that stuff, but sometimes grandparents, need a little extra person around just to get them a little life. You know what I'm saying? Just to get them a little life. So I don't know if y'all promote to senior citizens or just promote to people, period. But maybe that's another thing y'all can do, promote to seniors.
Come on. Give me some ideas. Let me write that on a sticky note.
You hear me?
That works. It's so good.
Promote to seniors, it's like promote to those that are, instead of getting a dog, get a baby, get a kid, that doesn't have a lot of issues.
Yeah, a 10-year-old, a 7-year-old, that's excited and I want to, it's like grandpa, I want to help too. I want to help, that really want to be a part of it, and it's like wash your hand, saying it's hand in hand. Yeah,
might want to think about that.
Oh, they are already. These little wheels are already spinning.
So it's plenty out there. It's plenty people out, plenty senior citizens out there that may want to do that, but it's like, you got to find them. You wouldn't know who they are. You got to find them. So anyway, we are coming to the end of the piece of this show where we got to leave everybody with a positive quote.
Oh, that's right.
And since you are such a lovely guest tonight, we're going to let you go first.
Yes, ma'am.
I love it. I always like these. I always like the ending because it's just like, I like quotes. So let me write that down. But mine is, you were born with the ability to change someone's life. Don't ever waste it.
Oh, okay. How do we follow? How you go behind that?
I know, right? I know.
I was just gonna say this. Again, thank you for being on the show. Thanks for everybody that's tuned in globally here at Tuck Radio. We got a lot of things coming up here. We got Rick Saxon on Friday at the Artsville here in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yep.
You can go to Tuck Radio page to get all the information. You can go to www.holdyourside entertainment or Hold Your Side ENT to get your tickets. Saturday, Fresh Fry, we got a lot of things happening, so just go on the Tuck Radio page, but be the change you want to see. At one point in time we were all kids and desired love and desired passion, so tap into that if you're a person who feels like this show really spoke to you and you got more questions. Reach out and call. All you can do is ask a question. No question is a dumb question. So
that's correct.
Be the change you want to see.
Yep. And yes, we got a lot of things going on. Thursday night, tune in to the Redmore. They will be on there doing a fundraiser for Lincoln Heights. So tune in at 7:00 for the Redmore. Just Vincent Fellas will be there singing. And then, like we said, we got Rick Sexton coming in on Friday at Artsville. You can go to Hold Your Side and ENT. Yes, ENT. Or you can go to the Artsville website, or you can inbox me and we can work something out. Tickets are only $25, and then we got the fish fry on Saturday. So we just need you to tune in, watch us, check us out. You just never know. There's some big things. I'm telling you, trust me when I tell you.
In the works, it's coming.
In case y'all didn't know, I am this close to retiring. I was 2 or 3 weeks ago, I wanted to just toss in the towel and just walk out and be done and just do what I really wanted to do. Absolutely nothing, and do stuff on my own for myself. So it's coming. There's some big things. Otis is doing something different. Otis is back in the city doing some things. So right now it's not just Black History Month in February. it's 365 days for us.
That's right. You
It's
better
Black
know it.
history everywhere, all day, all the time. We are promoting Blackness.
That's right.
I will
Love it.
continue to promote Blackness. You know, I do have other friends that are not Black. Let me let y'all know that, whom I love to death. But we promote Blackness because we don't get enough of promoting each other, and they don't do it enough. So I'm off my rant, but please keep watching Inboxes. We're happy to have you. Ashley, we're so happy to have you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank
So
you. I'm so happy
ecstatic.
you allowed me on.
Yes, you know, and y'all know what I always say, but I think this is me. Success comes by giving. That's what I truly believe in. In order to be successful, you have to be a giver. Bible says, you know, God loves a cheerful giver. So y'all know me. It's better to give than it is to receive. And we'll see you next Wednesday.